Guys, good friend Rackable Hogan here in the house, coming at you with another update, an update that I haven't made in close to a month now. Because when I make an update, I want to ensure that it's quality and that it actually gives you an update. And it's not just, well, I haven't really noticed anything, I'll get back at you next week. I want to make it useful. And because as my camera does not upload clips that are longer than 15 minutes, we're going to have to keep this short, crisp, and to the point. First note. I'm about going on 7 months post-op for my ACL meniscus surgery. How's my leg feel? Feels all right. It feels a little tight. The strength is coming back, but the explosiveness is pretty much non-existent. Now, what I mean is when I do box squats and deadlifts, it feels okay. It doesn't feel great. It feels okay. But when I do single leg jumps, I can hardly even get off the ground with my left leg compared to my right. So there's a lot of work that still needs to be done in that regard. So I'll be back in the ring in about 2 to 3 more months. Also, Rackable Hogan was on CBS Celebrity Undercover Boss. So if you have DVR, you have a way to check that out. Check out the episode with Stephanie McMahon. I was in that clip for about a minute 15 seconds, just whooping up on another NXT superstar. It was good stuff. It was fun to see that. I had no idea what was going on when we were recording that. I was told it was for a blog and just random photo shoot. So it's very confusing at the time. It all made sense when I saw it on TV. It's pretty cool. Next, shoulders every day. The pressing, the overhead pressing specifically. As you guys know, I started with doing dumbbell overhead press, and then I switched to Swiss bar overhead press. And that's because I started to get an overuse injury in my shoulders from doing the same pressing with the dumbbells. Now, as I told you guys, dumbbells are good because you can change up the grips in a number of different ways, but for me, it felt best to press in the same pattern to move the most weight. Like, if I was doing a dumbbell supinated grip overhead press, that would be okay, but for my particular goals, it was moving the most weight overhead, so I was pressing in that same pattern, and that started to hurt, so then I switched to the Swiss bar with the widest grip on the Swiss bar. I don't know if you can see that, the widest grip there. And then I did that for days and days and days in a row, and then that started to bother me as well. So then I moved on to the cheat curl with the supinated overhead press, and the supinated overhead press feels really good. Now, what am I getting at here, guys? Excuse me, it's so hot. I can hardly even breathe in this garage. It's the same theme as the arms every day. If you want to successfully work a same muscle group every day without getting tendonitis, overuse injuries, you got to consistently change the grips, because you're not going to get hurt from working the muscle every day. It's going to be the joint that's going to hurt, the tendons and the ligaments from moving in the exact same pattern every day. Like, you'll adapt to the soreness, but the tendons and ligaments, they're just going to keep taking a beating and a beating. They're going to eventually, something bad's going to happen. So ideally, like if I was to do it again, I would do dumbbell 1, maybe 2 days in a row, Swiss bar 1, maybe 2 days in a row, and go back and forth between those two, or dumbbell, Swiss bar, and then supinated grip, easy curl bar. So while I'm letting my pronated grip and my neutral grip pressing, letting the shoulder heal up, feel a little bit better for those, I'm going to focus on supinated grip overhead pressing. But the problem is, the easy curl bar that I'm using at the moment is, I believe, 4 feet long, which is great for the curling and the pressing, but if I want to just focus on pressing, I still have to curl it up because it's not a rackable bar. So it's kind of annoying in that regard. So I went ahead, I bit the bullet, and I ordered a 6 foot long easy curl bar, rackable. So now I can do supinated close grip overhead pressing straight from my rack, which will be great. And then I can also do things like, this is another reason I ordered it, I can also finally focus on close grip bench and supinated grip close grip bench, things of that sort, because doing that with a straight bar kills my wrists and my elbows, which I never focused on them before. The only way it wouldn't hurt is if I had shoulder width, maybe a little bit wider shoulder width grip, but that's going to incorporate more shoulders, and that's where the aches and pains start to come in. So it's a fine balance training your shoulders every single day. I'm not going to say it hasn't been successful because I put a lot of strength on the things that I have been doing, but the aches and pains are definitely there. Whereas doing arms every day, I wasn't feeling that. And doing pulls every day, I don't normally feel aches and pains. Pressing, it's a delicate little flower. But that's what you guys will see in the future. More easy curl stuff. I can also do heavy skull crushers then from the rack, which will be pretty exciting too. I guess the main takeaway with that is if you get equipment like a trap bar, easy curl bar, just go for the rackable version, because there'll be a point where you're going to want to move more weight. You'll want to try certain things out. And you just can't do it when you have the small version. Like my trap bar, I can't do overhead pressing with it because I would have to like curl it up. So I wouldn't be able to use enough weight. Whereas if it was rackable, I could do overhead pressing with the trap bar, so a nice wide neutral grip. I can't do like rack pulls, not that I would anymore anyways, but in the past I wanted to do partial trap bar deadlifts from the rack. I've never been able to do those anyways. And then just with the easy curl bar too, it's my squat rack. I can curl in it if I want to. So if I wanted to do really heavy curls in the rack, well, I can't do that because I didn't have a rackable bar. I couldn't do skull crushers in my rack. Couldn't do close grip bench in my rack. So that's why I went ahead and I ordered it anyways. Just bite the bullet, pay a little extra money. It's actually pretty cheap if you look around online. Because the funny thing is, I ordered a rackable easy curl bar for $124, and my easy curl bar, which is really good quality, it's got ball bearings, it's got like zinc plated on it so it doesn't rust. It was like $130 anyways, so I would have been better off just buying the rackable bar online in the first place, but you live and learn. Grip update. I stopped doing the grippers, the extreme reps every day. I stopped doing those weeks ago just because it was just causing too much pain in my hand. I didn't want to deal with that. It wasn't worth it. And I found that it was just eating up too much time anyways. Like, in order to get all the reps in, I would do like an hour before I would start lifting, or obviously I would have to do it after, before bed. And before bed, I want to unwind. I don't want to crush a gripper 1,000 times. And after a workout, it's okay, but I don't want to spend another hour working out because I'm already shot by that point. So I saw minimal hypertrophy gains in my forearms from doing those anyways. My gripping strength with the grippers alone, my crushing strength with the grippers alone improved, but that was mainly just from doing lower reps anyways with the heavier grippers. As you know, you should approach the grippers the same way you approach anything strength-wise. Doing 1,000 reps, you might initially see some growth, just like if you never did curls before and you did 1,000 curls every day. Like, yeah, you're going to grow, but eventually you're just going to get injured from overuse. So I stopped doing that. The only time I use the grippers now is I'll usually do this after a workout. When I just work out and I'll finish up, I have my 1 captain's a crush, my 2 captain's a crush, and then my 300-pound heavy gripper. So I'll usually just do 5 reps 1, 5 reps 2, and then just go to try to crush my 300 as tightly as I can for 1 rep. And that's it. So it takes minimal time because it's sustainable. It's something I'm going to continue doing, whereas doing 1,000 reps every single day is not sustainable. That's how you have to approach some of these experiments. It's like the onion experiment that I wanted to do. If it makes you feel like you're going to vomit after drinking some onion, is it sustainable to do every single day? No, it's not, obviously. So I should have known that after the first try. But I tried over and over again with the onion, and I vomited every single time. So it's stupid. I won't continue to do that. Just like grippers, I won't do that many reps. There's just no point. So what would I recommend for grip? Fat grips. Throw fat grips on curls, throw them on deadlifts, throw them on pull-ups, throw them on rows. You can do it for warm-up sets, or you can just do it for like AMRAPs after your top intensity set. Throw on the fat grips, do as many reps as you can with the thick handle on. You'll get more bang for your buck that way. It's only $30 versus buying grippers, which are about $30 a piece. You got to buy a 1, maybe a 1.5, a 2, a 2.5, a 3. That's 5 grippers right there. That's already $150 versus $30 fat grips. Or if you do want to spend the money, again, I've recommended this before, I'll recommend it again. Sidewinder Extreme, just search it on Amazon, Sidewinder Extreme. It's like I can't remember, $130, something like that. Seems like a big investment, but the thing's solid, built like a tank. It'll never break down. It's great for tendinitis in your forearms. little aches and pains. If you're doing, pull-ups all the time, you have aches from benching, you feel like you have tendonitis. It's great to do before you bench or do any pressing. It's great to do after a workout. Like, it's well worth the money. So you can buy 5 grippers or you can buy a Sidewinder Extreme, which will prevent tendonitis. It'll treat that, rehab it, whatever. Okay. Now, next, people have been asking about GOMAD. Have I still been doing GOMAD? What's up with that? I stopped doing GOMAD a few months ago, mainly because I was relying too much on the milk, and I found that I really wasn't eating that much else throughout the day other than just the milk. Because I got 2,400 calories from the milk. I don't really need anything else. I wasn't hungry because I was always drinking milk. I was always full. And I realized that probably wasn't the best thing for my health, because intake of certain micronutrients blocks absorption, or it could improve absorption of other micronutrients too. So I was always getting the same mega doses of calcium, and I'm no nutritionist, but I know that it's not good to just rely on one food source, which is essentially what I was doing. So I stopped that just to work on varying up my diet. My God, it's hot in here. I'm just sweating through my shirt. So I'm trying to have a more well-rounded diet. But what I'm doing, obviously, to get as many calories as possible is now I'm relying on peanut butter. So I'm putting down about a jar of peanut butter easily a day. Sometimes almond butter, sometimes sunflower seed butter. It's all very easy to do. I just mix it with banana. You can do it with milk, almond milk, soy milk, whatever you want to use. It's good with all of them, just to change it up. I usually get about 3 shakes in a day, and that's a jar of peanut butter right there. And a jar of peanut butter, I think it's like 3,200 calories or something ridiculous, 3,500 calories. So if you're trying to bulk, I can't think of an easier way. I haven't really lost any weight from when I was doing GOMAD. I feel like I'm close to the same weight, but I'm leaner than when I was doing GOMAD. So take it for what it's worth. I think that this is the best diet that I've had in a while. Just in terms of health-wise, with caloric intake and just health benefits. We'll see, though. I just started doing that about 2 weeks ago now. Strength feels good. Next, we're going to talk about the gum. People have been asking me about this. You still chewing the gum? I did that for like the first week. I'll tell you what I noticed after about 2 weeks' time. First piece of gum. Great workout, right? I hit that PR. I felt super energized, super pumped. Second piece was, and then everything else after that just went downhill. So I don't really recommend it, in all honesty. I never get the same kick as I do just from drinking caffeine. And the whole idea that I recommended that in the first place was it was something to switch it up, so you didn't need to drink as much caffeine. You could kind of switch back and forth between the two, but they're just two different types of energy anyways. One's more of like mental focus and one's hyped up, psychotic. Like, I'm talking obviously like nicotine versus caffeine. I don't really care about mental focus when I'm lifting. I just want to go beast mode. I just want to be a savage and throw weight around. So in the grand scheme of things, one thing affecting another, like, I'm not going to say it doesn't have its benefits, but I don't know. I wouldn't get too, like, if you have an addictive personality, I wouldn't really get into it, just because you really aren't going to see much after your first piece. You're going to adapt very quickly to it. And if you already are, like, if you vape or you smoke or whatever, smokeless tobacco, you're probably not going to see anything from it anyways. I'm sure some of you agree that you maybe have gotten a little energy from it, and then others probably didn't really get much out of it at all. So, like I said, first stick I had, good. Everything else down afterwards. Just kind of lost potency, like, very quickly. And then last thing, when I was talking about branched-chain amino acids like a month ago, or maybe even 2 months ago now, I was planning on taking 20 to 40 grams a day just to try it out, see what happens, because it was so cheap. Yeah, it's been about over a month now, and I can safely say that I really haven't seen anything from it. So I'm going to have to go ahead and say that it's just not worth it. It's not like I saw improved recovery or any strength gains or size gains. In fact, this was probably also because I wasn't doing the peanut butter or the milk, but I was actually losing a lot of weight while I was doing that So did it keep me anti-catabolic? Probably not. And I didn't see improvement in recovery or size gains. So what's the point? It's just not worth the money. Just eat more food, lift more weights. That's 15 minutes. We're done.